For weeks, the story around Shedeur Sanders felt already written. Too raw for the league, not ready for the spotlight. Just another young quarterback thrown into chaos with a franchise that couldn't get out of its own way. Fans were divided, analysts were ruthless, and the noise, it kept getting louder every single week. But then, the league made an announcement that flipped everything on its head. Because while critics were busy talking, Sanders was busy proving them wrong, and then it hit. The NFL officially named Shedeur Sanders the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week for Week 14. Not a sympathy award, not hype, real recognition. Out of 6 rising stars across the league, including his own teammate Harold Fannin Jr., Sanders stood alone at the top. And just like that, the same people who doubted him were forced to pay attention. But here's the thing. The award isn't even the craziest part. It's what he did to earn it. Because what Sanders pulled off against the Tennessee Titans didn't look like a rookie performance. It looked like a warning shot. He stepped onto that field and lit up the defense for 364 passing yards. Not safe throws, not easy completions. We're talking deep shots, tight windows, aggressive reads, the kind of throws veteran quarterbacks hesitate to make, and he didn't just move the ball. He finished drives, 3 passing touchdowns, then added another one on the ground. That's 4 total scores in one game as a rookie. In just his 3rd start, let that sink in. Because this wasn't a lucky game. This was controlled, confident, and calculated. The kind of performance that forces the entire league to stop and ask, wait, who is this guy really? And then it got even crazier. Because with that performance, Sanders didn't just have a good game, he made history. No player in Cleveland Browns history, since 1946, had ever put up a stat line like that. 300-plus passing yards, 3-plus passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown, all in the same game. Not legends, not veterans, nobody, until now. And just like that, a rookie who was being questioned weeks ago suddenly had his name sitting in the franchise record books. But that wasn't the only sign something big was happening. Because if you zoom out, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Over his first 3 starts, Sanders quietly stacked 722 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. That's not inconsistency, that's growth, that's momentum. And maybe most importantly, that's confidence building in real time. Every single game, he's pushing the ball downfield. In fact, he's hit at least one 50-plus yard pass in every start so far. That's not just talent, that's fearlessness. That's a quarterback who's not playing scared. And in today's NFL, that matters more than anything. But of course, not everyone is convinced, because critics didn't just disappear overnight. They pointed at the interceptions. They pointed at the sacks. 3 picks, 8 sacks. And to be fair, those numbers are real. This isn't a perfect story. Sanders is still learning, still adjusting to the speed of the league, still figuring out when to take risks and when to play it safe. Sometimes he holds the ball too long. Sometimes he trusts a throw he shouldn't. But here's what they're missing. That's exactly what rookie quarterbacks are supposed to go through. And this is where things get interesting. Because inside the building, the story sounds completely different. Head coach Kevin Stefanski isn't questioning Sanders. He's backing him, publicly, confidently. He's praised his footwork, his pocket presence, his work ethic, and those aren't small compliments. Those are foundational traits, the things that separate average quarterbacks from franchise leaders. And maybe the most important part? He highlighted Sanders' commitment since day one, which completely shuts down the narrative that this kid wasn't prepared or wasn't putting in the work. Because according to the people who actually see him every day, he's doing everything right, and that changes the entire story. Because now this isn't about whether Sanders belongs. Now it's about how far he can go. And that's where the pressure shifts, because suddenly it's not just on the quarterback anymore. It's on the organization. The Cleveland Browns have spent years searching for stability at the quarterback position, and now they might finally have something real. But can they build around it? Can they protect him? Develop him? Give him the right system, the right weapons, the right support? Or will this turn into another what could have been story? Because we've seen that before. And that's what makes this moment so important. This Rookie of the Week award, it's not just a trophy. It's a signal, a shift. A moment where the league is quietly saying, this kid is legit, and if everything clicks, if the protection improves, if the chemistry builds, If the chaos settles down,